Jamie Joseph has played his cards close to his chest regarding his ambitions to become the next All Blacks head coach, insisting his full focus remains on Highlanders as the new Super Rugby Pacific season gets underway, with the 2026 campaign kicking off on Friday. Joseph finds himself at the center of mounting speculation following New Zealand Rugby's shock decision to part ways with Scott Robertson in mid-January. The abrupt nature of Robertson's departure sent tremors through the rugby world and immediately triggered debate about who would step into one of the most high-profile coaching roles in international sport. Among the names most frequently mentioned has been Joseph's, but a vacancy that changed the landscape. Robertson's sacking was widely described as unexpected. The former Crusaders boss had taken charge of the All Blacks with significant fanfare, having built a dynasty in Super Rugby. Yet a mixed tenure at test level, combined with reported internal tensions and communication issues, ultimately led to his dismissal. The timing, just weeks before the start of the Super Rugby Pacific season, intensified scrutiny on potential successors. New Zealand Rugby moved quickly to begin the search for a replacement, reportedly receiving 13 applications before trimming the field down to a three-man shortlist. Joseph, currently head coach of the Highlanders, has emerged as the leading candidate. The favorite in waiting, there are several reasons why Joseph is considered the frontrunner. Firstly, he meets all of New Zealand Rugby's criteria for the role. He has extensive coaching experience at both domestic and international level, having previously led the Highlanders to a Super Rugby title in 2015 before embarking on a transformative stint with Japan. During his time with the Brave Blossoms, Joseph enhanced his reputation as a tactically astute and culturally intelligent coach, guiding Japan to new heights on the global stage. Secondly, Joseph is already based in New Zealand and actively coaching within the country's professional structure. That proximity matters. With the All Blacks needing stability and clarity after a turbulent period, appointing someone embedded in the local system offers continuity and immediate accessibility. Thirdly, Joseph recently took charge of the All Blacks 15, effectively the national second-string side, during their November tour. That appointment was widely interpreted as more than coincidence. Many observers viewed it as a strategic move by New Zealand Rugby to reintegrate Joseph into the national framework and assess him in a high-performance environment aligned with the All Blacks culture. Whether there was a trial run for the top job remains to be officially confirmed, but it has only strengthened the perception that Joseph is being groomed for a major role. Totally unexpected. Despite the noise surrounding his candidacy, Joseph has refused to be drawn into public discussion about the position. Speaking ahead of the Highlanders' opening clash against the Crusaders, the 56-year-old admitted that Robertson's dismissal caught him off guard. "Well, it was totally unexpected," Joseph told reporters. "And you've got your head down thinking about your own team. For me, that is the Highlanders. That has been really my focus." His measured response reflects a coach determined not to allow external speculation to disrupt his immediate responsibilities. After a challenging campaign last year, Joseph is under pressure to guide the Highlanders back into playoff contention. He has repeatedly stressed that his priority lies with preparing his squad for the demands of Super Rugby Pacific. "This is my first game in this season after a really tough season last year, and I'm really focused on the Highlanders," he added. Joseph also suggested that the speculation has not significantly impacted his players. The publicity around the job has been surprisingly simple for the players. There hasn't been a lot said. It is a revealing comment. In a rugby-mad nation like New Zealand, where the All Blacks role carries immense prestige and scrutiny, the ability to insulate a provincial squad from distraction speaks to Joseph's leadership and internal clarity that a three-man race. While Joseph has not confirmed publicly whether he has formally applied for the position, reports indicate that he has indeed submitted his application. According to the Post, the selection process has progressed swiftly, with the initial pool of 13 applicants narrowed to 3 finalists. Sir John Kerwin, speaking on the Rivals podcast, revealed that Joseph and former Wallabies head coach Dave Rennie are among the shortlisted candidates. "We had 13 applications, and it's down to 3, Kerwin said. "Of the 3, I think there's Jamie Joseph and Dave Rennie, but I don't know who the third is. It could be Warren Gatland, but I'm pretty sure that they're making the decision in the next week or so." Kerwin's comments have only heightened anticipation. The suggestion that a decision could be imminent has added urgency to the speculation swirling around the rugby landscape. The competition, Rennie and a mystery third candidate Dave Rennie represents a compelling alternative. The former Chiefs coach has a strong Super Rugby pedigree, having guided the Hamilton-based franchise to back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013. His international experience with Australia further enhances his credentials. While his tenure with the Wallabies yielded mixed results, Rennie is widely respected for his strategic acumen and ability to build cohesive environments. Rennie's familiarity with New Zealand rugby systems and players, combined with his time abroad, positions him as a serious contender. The identity of the third candidate remains unknown. Warren Gatland has been floated as a possibility, although his current commitments and past associations make that scenario less certain. Vern Cotter, once considered a potential applicant, has effectively ruled himself out after committing to the Queensland Reds. Joe Schmidt is also believed to have stepped aside from consideration. As a result, the race appears increasingly focused on Joseph and Rennie. What Joseph would bring if appointed: Joseph would inherit a squad rich in talent, but in need of renewed direction. The All Blacks remain one of rugby's most formidable brands. Yet recent seasons have exposed inconsistencies in performance and identity. Joseph's coaching philosophy blends structure with adaptability. His tenure in Japan showcased his ability to mold a team around collective belief, tactical precision, and relentless work rate. He also demonstrated an aptitude for developing players and maximizing limited resources, qualities that could prove invaluable in reasserting the All Blacks' dominance. Moreover, Joseph understands the expectations that accompany the black jersey. A former All Blacks player himself, he has first-hand experience of the culture, pressure, and pride associated with representing New Zealand. His recent involvement with the All Blacks 15 suggests he has already reconnected with the national system and built relationships with emerging talent. That continuity could smooth the transition. Timing and transition. One of the complexities surrounding the appointment is timing. With Super Rugby Pacific now underway, any decision must balance national priorities with provincial commitments. Should Joseph be selected, discussions would need to address the logistics of his transition from the Highlanders. The impact on his current squad would be significant, particularly if the announcement comes mid-season. For now, Joseph is maintaining professional distance from the process. His refusal to elaborate publicly on his application status is consistent with his pragmatic approach. The coming days are expected to bring clarity. If Kerwin's prediction proves accurate, New Zealand Rugby will finalize its decision within the week. A defining moment for New Zealand Rugby, the selection of the next All Blacks head coach represents more than a routine appointment. It is a defining moment for New Zealand Rugby, following a period of turbulence. Robertson's dismissal, coupled with public commentary from figures such as Eddie Jones, who criticized how the situation was handled and questioned the leaking of details, has placed the governing body under scrutiny. The new appointment must restore confidence, unify stakeholders, and provide a clear strategic vision. Yet Rennie's credentials ensure this is no foregone conclusion. Focus on Friday night amid the speculation. The immediate task for Joseph is clear: prepare the Highlanders for their season opener against the Crusaders. The irony of facing Robertson's former franchise in the opening round adds a layer of narrative intrigue. The Crusaders remain a benchmark within Super Rugby, and a strong performance from the Highlanders would send an early statement, both about their ambitions and Joseph's capacity to lead under pressure.